Welcome back to the PowerPoint series of video tutorials from Activia Training. In our next short tutorial, we're going to have a look at adding transitions to PowerPoint slides. Now, I'm going to start by opening up PowerPoint and opening an example file there. Okay, so I've got a simple presentation there, 8 slides. Each of them just contains some bullet point text. Okay, no graphics on there. Alright, to run the presentation, of course, I'm going to hit the slideshow button at the bottom. Okay, and the slideshow runs. And to progress through to the next slide, I click or press the spacebar. And as I do so, the next slide appears. Now I'm hoping to add a little bit of pizzazz to this presentation. Okay, and one way of doing that is to change the way we move from one slide to the next by adding transitions. Okay, let's go back to the first slide. Transition is how the next slide is introduced. Okay, we can go to the transitions tab and see our range of transitions in our transition gallery there. Now there's quite a few to choose from. By default, each slide will have no transition, but I can click one of those transitions, and then on the left hand side I can preview and I get a quick idea of how that will work. Let's try fade and preview, and again I get a preview of that transition. Let's try push, and there you go. This time a little bit better, it pushes up from the bottom. Now not all of the transitions, but a lot of them will have additional effect options, and we can see these on the right hand side. Now when I previewed that, the slide pushed up from the bottom. If I click on effect options, you can see I can choose the direction in which that slide will move on. So let's go from the right and preview, and it moves on from the right. I'm going to do that with the second one. So push from the right, and let's look at that from the beginning, and the slide comes on, and I click and the next slide comes on. Okay, haven't yet applied a transition to the third one. Well, let's try something else for the third one. Okay, this time I'm going to drop down the whole gallery, and you can see a vast array of different transitions. Now, depending on your version of PowerPoint, you may have all of these. You may be missing a few. So these are the transitions that come with PowerPoint 2013. So with this version, we get ones like curtains and drapes and airplane and origami. Okay, they'll be missing from 2010. If you're using 2007, you may be missing ones like flip and gallery and cube as well. So each new version of PowerPoint introduces another range of transitions. Let's try cube. And again, effect options, I can choose the direction at which this one will come from. So I'm going to stick with from the right, and I'll apply that to slide 4 as well. And cube. And it's from the right. Okay, let's try that from the beginning. Slide on. And slide on. And this time the cube. Oh, actually, I quite like the cube. Do you know, I think I may stay with the cube for all of the slides. Now, I think it's a good idea, once you've determined a good transition, to stick with that through the whole presentation. Rather than go to the next slide and apply the cube transition, I can select the slide that I have it on already, and over on the right hand side there, click Apply to All. Each of my slides will now have that cube transition. Now, further to the right, we have some other options. Let's start this from the beginning. Okay, I can apply a sound, and hopefully we'll get a preview as I hover over these, or perhaps not. Let's try. Okay, there we have a round of applause as the slide was introduced. Now, I have to say that I would find that immensely irritating on a presentation, so I'm going to drop that back to no sound. Okay, but you can apply a sound, and we can also determine how long that transition will take. So let's increase the time in there. 5 seconds. Oops, a little bit too far, and preview. And perhaps a little bit too slow. Okay, so we'll reduce that back down. 1.5 seconds, preview, and that is perfect. Again, as before, as I modify those items, if I want to apply the same effects to all, I click Apply to All. Finally, on the right hand side, we can choose how we want the slide to advance. Now normally, as I click a slide or press the space bar, that will trigger the advance onto the next slide. However, we can have it automatically advance to the next slide by clicking after. Okay, so I'm going to say after 2 seconds, and again I'm going to apply to all. Starting from the first slide, let's run the presentation. Okay, so no clicking or spacebar this time. My hands are away from the keyboard and the presentation automatically scrolls through. And there you go. Quick and easy look at how to apply transitions to our PowerPoint slides. I hope you found that useful. Look forward to seeing you on the next video tutorial.